December the 20th, 2019, Boeing launches its Starliner on a United Launch Alliance rocket. As we all know, it didn't go to plan. NASA and Boeing have finished investigations with a total of 80 recommendations for future missions. Join me and let's discuss some of those recommendations. After the deployment of the Boeing Starliner, an 11-hour offset in the mission clock of the Starliner caused the spacecraft to compute that it was in an orbital insertion burn when it was not. This caused the attitude control thrusters to consume more fuel than planned, precluding a docking with the International Space Station. The spacecraft eventually landed at White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico 2 days after launch. Once the Boeing Starliner landed, a thorough investigation by the joint NASA-Boeing Independent Review Team has completed its final assessment and identified 80 areas where corrections need to be made before the Starliner can conduct another orbital flight test. This latest review was concerned with the intermittent space-to-ground communication issue that contributed to the Calypso the Starliner used for the OFT-1 demo, experiencing a sustained premature burn that used up most of its fuel. Two other issues, which were coding errors, had previously been investigated by the team, which recommended that 61 corrective actions be taken by Boeing to address them. With the completion of the investigation's third and final focus area, Boeing and NASA are now executing action plans for each recommendation. The full list of corrective and preventative actions is proprietary and therefore not available to the public. However, the 80 actions were divided into 5 categories, which Boeing and NASA has shared with the public. These are: Number 1. Testing and simulation. For the first, testing and simulation, 21 recommendations were made, which included the need for greater hardware and software integration testing, the performance of an end-to-end test prior to each flight, reviewing subsystem behaviors and limitations, and addressing any identified simulation or emulation gaps. Number 2. Requirements. This category included 10 recommendations which recommended an assessment of all software requirements with multiple logic conditions to ensure test coverage. Number 3. Processes and operational improvements. This category included 35 recommendations for software test data and safety review processes to be made. Number 4. Software. There were 7 recommendations made in the software category, which called for the updating of software code and a more robust antenna selection algorithm to correct the elapsed timing error that led to the Calypso's premature engine burn, as well as the service module disposal burn anomaly that occurred during the crew and service module separation sequence. Number 5. Knowledge capture and hardware modification. For the final category, again, there were 7 recommendations that fell into the knowledge capture and hardware modification. These include organizational changes to the safety reporting and independent validation and verification approach, as well as the addition of an external radio frequency filter to prevent interference from satellites or other spacecraft in the vicinity. Going forward, the independent review team has been asked to remain on board as Boeing and NASA execute their action plans. This past April, Boeing indicated that once the corrective measures are complete, it will provide a second orbital test for free, which will include docking with the International Space Station to demonstrate that Starliner meets the needs of NASA and the Commercial Crew program. Thank you for watching. This is Everything Space. Until next time.